today. From AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas. It's Week 16 of the NFL on EA Sports.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Lone Star State and the very mammoth AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas. Coming up, we've got a good matchup on tap between the Miami Dolphins and the Dallas Cowboys. Here comes the return from the very back of the end zone. So here are the Cowboys now ready to go on offense for the first time. And a glance here at the man calling the plays under center, their 6'4" quarterback.
And he's had a great season so far throwing the football. Very likely could go over 4,000 yards with a good performance here. And even in an age of passing first, that is no small accomplishment.
And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32. This defense for the Dolphins, they were very strong in the win last week over the Giants.
Anytime you can hold a team to less than 10 points, your expectation winning that game has to be sky high. In fact, you'd be absolutely stunned to come away with a loss in that one. Could you imagine going to the press conference and trying to explain that?
And now here's a carry heading left. Stays on his feet. And some space here. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. Thought that. We're going to have him down a lot earlier, but he was able to shed that tackle.
Shows the value of the weight room, doesn't it? Shows the value of the attitude when you run the football. Don't go down easily. Break a few tackles, gain some additional yardage.
On first down, McCarthy. He finds his man, complete. It's Lawrence. Not much there, only a yard.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. You're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
Looking right sideline, but it's incomplete.
Well, to me, there is no question about the intent there, and I think he was a little fortunate that the penalty flag didn't come out for grounding. But he'll get away with it and get another shot on third down.
If they want it first, they need to get the football to the 32 here on third down. Looking to throw. McCarthy. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And a pretty nice tackle there, ranging up from his free safety spot as he'll stop him about a yard short. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a fourth down. So first possession, 4th and short. Field goal's no gimme from here. What you think about going for it?
I'm not just thinking about it. I'm signaling go for it. Let's get this, all right? Yeah, look, you're right. You know, the field goal's there, but it's not a chip shot. My big thing is opening drive. You're trying to establish momentum. Let's not stall it ourselves. So let's go get this first down and then continue on downfield and try and get a touchdown.
Like your confidence.
Yeah, why not? Let's go. Always disappointing when you miss a field goal, but when you're playing against a defense this good, you and I both know that's a crucial miss because you can't afford to leave any points out there. You've got to take them when you can.
Ward now, throwing on first down. Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. And this is caught inside the 5. And he just falls short down at the 1-yard line. It's a big play there for Miami. And they've got 3 tight ends here on 1st and goal to add some extra mass. And they'll let the fullback try and take him home. And he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. Taking it in from a yard out. And the Dolphins on just 2 plays have taken the lead. Extra point right down the middle. And that makes the score 7-0. Well, it wasn't a 1-play drive, but I think they'll take it. The scoring summary, 2 plays and into the end zone. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Second drive forthcoming here for the Dallas Cowboys. And they were in field goal range last time out but couldn't connect.
And it's early in the game, so I don't think that the confidence just goes entirely out of, running your kicker back out there. But let's face it, some coaches have a little bit less patience for that than others. Let's see if they call the game differently now in terms of what they do on drives and not try and settle for field goals.
Throwing on 1st down. McCarthy. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34. These are his numbers from last week's contest. 5 catches, 64 yards.
Having a nice season. Number 8 in the league in receiving yards. And not just making his team happy, but anyone who's picked him in fantasy football.
Now a handoff here to his running back. 41 yards rushing for him now in just his first 3 carries. Now look. That wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
Hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
And he takes it past the 45 and down at the 46. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
That's a really nice, tough run inside, and they gained 5 yards on it. And to be frank about it, most offenses don't expect to get 5 yards on a play call like that. So when they do, they go back to their own with a little pep in their steps. They're starting to think that they're starting to dominate the line of scrimmage.
We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on 1st quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
Gonna give this time to the tailback. And they'll wind up getting this to the 37. Gain of 9. They'll come up now on 2nd and a yard. Now the Dolphins are going to halt the action here. It's a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 1st quarter. Here's 2nd and a yard. Back to throw. McCarthy. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he's got another 1st down as he's brought down at the Dolphins' 28.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a 1st down.
Now this one complete on the slant route. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. That catch, by the way, number 542 in his NFL career. That draws him level with Lance Allworth, who was a Hall of Famer with the Chargers back in the 60s and 70s.
Yeah, the man they called Bambi. So if you're in that type of territory, catch the same number of passes he caught, you know you're on your way to a big-time career. And just think, he's not through yet.
So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. Operating from the gun, McCarthy. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
They'll look to throw again. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 10-yard line. This will wind up a loss on the play, and that's going to make it 4th down.
That's a nice clip and save sequence there defensively because they did everything as they would have wanted to. They forced the 3rd down, blanketed the field with coverage, nowhere to go with the football, forced the dump off to back, and even then they closed quickly and got him down behind the line of scrimmage. You name it, they did it well in that last sequence.
So a good kick there, and they put the bow tie on it with 3 points.
And let's face it, everybody wants a touchdown. We know that. But in the NFL, defenses are awfully good. You're not going to score each and every time. Be able to knock the ball through the post and take the throw.
By the way, I said bow tie. I meant just bow.
Either way.
Not the tie, but yeah.
Either way.
You got it.
I just went right past it.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make...
He's got a man complete. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. A big play there with touchdown number 20 on the year. And the Dolphins strike quickly here for 6 points. Extra point splits the uprights, and that pushes the lead up to 11. Those are the kind of drives they like on offense, from the coordinator to the quarterback, the line, everybody. One play drive and into the end zone for 6. And he'll just sit on this one as their drive will start at the 25. The Dallas offense back out onto the field. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score.
As far as tight ends go, this guy's not a speed burner. He's much more of an inline blocking type of a tight end. But how about this last play? Made a nice catch and picked up a 1st down.
That's what impresses me about him. When he's called upon, usually gets it done. A little bit of space there for the 1st down run, as that's going to get him about 5 yards.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line.
I know flashy plays, splashy plays, as people like to call them, that attracts a lot of attention. But let's face it, when you're efficient, that can control a ball game. And I love the game plan they've got going right now.
Back-to-back 5-yard gains. Didn't force the ball downfield. Picked it up on the ground.
Yeah, offensive line, they're getting it done.
No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. Those are the plays this defense needs with the deficit they're facing.
It certainly is, and they've got to continue to swarm the football and hope that someone, while they're holding up the ball carrier, can get in there and rake it and lock it free. They need to get some takeaways as well.
Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. And that's complete to the right side. It's Allen. And he'll go down inside the 45 before going out of bounds.
They ran that one well, and not only did they pick up a nice chunk of yardage on the screen, they sent a message to the defense. Rush the passer all you want, but you better be careful. We can hit you going back the other direction.
From the gun, they'll try to run it. And he got blown up, losing yardage on the play back at the 44. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Part of their struggles last week was getting these negative plays on 1st and 2nd down. That's something they have to be wary of as this game continues.
Now they contend with a 2nd and 12 after the loss. From the gun, McCarthy. A quick throw here, that's complete. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
And a nice milestone reached on that last throw is here late in the season. He goes over 4,000 yards passing.
And he's really thrown the ball well all season long. Had some big games along the way. He's inspired his receiving corps to go out and make plays for him in each and every ball game.
The line to gain is the 33 on 3rd down. Operating from the gun, McCarthy. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up. So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. And they won't risk defending a return here. That one's out of bounds, and it'll be spotted at the 14-yard line.
Miami's offense set and ready to go.
And last time the formula was pretty simple. 1-play drive, long pass. That maybe they just want to do that again, right?
And that's exactly how you want to draw things up. Whether it's on your grease board, right, in your playbook, 1-play drive's exactly what you want on offense. What they have to be careful of is not having a letdown. It was real easy last time. They can't expect that going forward.
Yeah, we'll see if it's that easy here. He sets to fire deep. And got his man complete. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. A great effort there. Touchdown number 15 of the year.
And the Dolphins are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead.
If you didn't know it, it won't surprise you to find out that this team leads the league in scoring. They've been a quick strike team all season long. There's another example. They did it again. This offensive coordinator, right now, you can write his ticket towards being a head coach. He's advanced in the ways of offense.
Point after, right down the middle. And the lead is up to 18 now. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
Now this is going to be returned from the back line of the end zone.
And now here come the Cowboys. And hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win 1st down. You win 2nd down. And guess what? You start accumulating 1st downs. And that's what they need.
And the Dolphins rush gets home. Down he goes. He couldn't get rid of it. He takes a sack for a loss of 6 to bring up 2nd down. Looking to throw. McCarthy into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 25. And he will bring it back. It's a pick 6 and a Dolphins touchdown. And remember, this is the #1 defense in the National Football League. There's a good example of why.
Shows that they set an aggressive tone, not just stopping the run, not just getting after the quarterback, but if the ball's in the air, they treat it like they're the receivers, and they went after that one and took it all the way.
So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air.
Here comes the return from the very back of the end zone.
Here's the Dallas offense now heading back out onto the field. And they just had that pick 6. I guess the only positive maybe of them returning that for a touchdown. This offense right back out onto the field to try to make up for it.
I like that because now it doesn't give them a chance to go to the bench and really settle. You know, to sit there and kind of seethe over the idea that they turned the ball over previously. Right back out there, it's almost like hopping right back on the bike after falling over. See if they can get the ball moving again.
Yeah, we'll see if they can do it here. We are in for a good one as we're through one on EA Sports. Working with a 2nd and 4.
57, Mike, 57. Strip the ball.
Back to throw. McCarthy. Pressure comes and down he goes. That winds up pushing him back 11 yards on the sack. And that'll bring up 3rd.
This offensive line has struggled. In fact, when we sat down with the coach, he said it's been in tatters lately. They allowed 6 sacks in their last game. Just gave up another one right there.
In tatters, so it sounds a little bit like this right now.
Exactly. It's like that paper being ripped. And right now, they've got to find a way to get it back together.
The Cowboys on 3rd down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This will be 3rd and 15. From the gun, McCarthy. Oh, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going. Out now comes the Cowboys punter as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Taken from just outside the 30. A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. And the Dolphins will begin this drive in great field position, 1st and 10. So the Dolphins offense heading out as we give you a look at the playoff race in the AFC. And as we count down through the final few weeks of the season, these guys have nothing to sweat about. They've clinched the top spot, so the road to the Super Bowl, it runs through them.
And there's a natural inclination here, partner, to say, okay, a lot of guys aren't going to play down the stretch. We've clinched. We're ready to go. But there's another part where you say, let's show the league why we're the #1 team. Maybe you intimidate someone. Maybe you dissuade them from thinking that they can beat you in the playoffs by going out and being really impressive down the stretch.
Absolutely, and you want to take momentum into the playoffs. There's also pride on the line for these guys individually.
Yeah, momentum and pride. Yeah, I'd make room for them and put them both in uniform.
Watch the ship. Watch the ship. Hey, hey, watch the ship. Watch the ship. Undergrowth, undergrowth, undergrowth. Check that, street. Track 60.
He'll try again with the arm here on 2nd down. He's going to let it go again. And that is caught. Touchdown, Miami. A great play there. His 2nd TD of the game and 16th on the season.
And the Dolphins are able to widen their lead here in this 1st half.
Extra point right down the middle. And the route is on here in this 1st half. The long touchdown pass gets him 6 on a very, very tidy 2-play drive that time. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
This fielded right at the goal line. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25.
A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. And I'm wondering if maybe they don't go away from him on this drive a little bit. He's been great, but they haven't scored a lot of points.
I think they still have to show him as a threat, make sure he touches it a few times, but as you pointed out, use him as a decoy a little bit and get the ball in the hands of some other people in order to put more points on the board. But he's done a really nice job of establishing them with his running.
Yeah, he's established himself well. Now can they put more points up? And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll get this one up to the 26.
He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on 1st down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on 2nd.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going into the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
And he will have a Cowboys 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
When you struggle on offense, you're looking for anything possible to get you going. Sometimes you do it like basketball teams that don't normally press. You put a press on, bring people to life, make them move a little bit quicker. Maybe that'll help them as they head towards the half.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. And his throw is incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Throwing again. McCarthy. The Dolphins get there this time, and they bring him down. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack.
That's 3 sacks now, and that's not much of a surprise to me, nor should it be to you. This team, they lead the league in sacks.
Yeah, they do. This is something that we are starting to witness time and time again. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He finds his man, complete. That's Stevens. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Great blocking on the return. It springs him for 25. The Dolphins at the line, ready for their next drive. They've really distanced themselves. They have put the pedal to the metal, I guess, so to speak.
So definitely have them in the rearview mirror, don't they? I mean, you're exactly right. Being able to string together these drives that end up in points, it's almost like a run in basketball to create that distance, and they're on a really big-time one right now.
It becomes contagious, doesn't it?
It absolutely does, because oftentimes
He's got it. Touchdown, Dolphins. A big play there. His 21st touchdown of the season, and the Dolphins just continue to pour it on.
Okay, we need to double-check here with Marvin because he keeps all of our good stats, but what I've got is 5 drives, 5 touchdowns, and they've got a nice, healthy lead.
Well, after the first drive, we thought things might be clicking. They're really clicking at this point. They're clicking about as much as they can click.
And right
I just said click a lot.
Yes, you did, but that's okay because the guy who's coordinating the defense, trying to slow them down,
Good luck.
he's going to have hair that looks like mine very soon. Not much of it.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And tackled at the 21-yard line, so a net negative there of 4 yards. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. And the ground game's been good, but they're losing here in the 2nd quarter. Can they use that ground game maybe to work the air attack a little bit more?
I think so, because now you can throw play action off of being able to run the ball effectively.
How is that not fucking holding?
And oftentimes you might want to just swing your back out of the backfield, get the ball in his hands in open space, and just don't get totally away from running it, because some of these runs now, they may pop bigger as the game goes along.
Yeah, they've been good with a run so far. Now this throw caught left side. Oh, he put it on the carpet, a fumble. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, or that could have been trouble. Defensively, well done to jar that free. I'll tell you what, though, offensively, he's got to be lucky after the catch and the fumble that didn't go too far away from him.
And the way the football is shaped, it's not built to bounce true, is it? It can squirt in any direction and move in any way. He was so lucky. Thank his lucky stars, he was able to get that one back. And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
And they'll go on the ground. And they go the wrong way here. Knocked back to the 20. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
To throw on second down. McCarthy. Quick hitter here. It's complete. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for third down. And they'll lose yardage here. They go backwards to the 13-yard line. A 3-yard loss. Fourth down now.
A great job there by this defense. They give up the long drive, but in the end, it looks like they'll force a field goal attempt.
And his kick is good. And get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. So the 3 points there, and CD, that helps them inch a bit closer.
Yeah, partner, when you're losing, any points you see go on the board in your favor, you're happy to take them.
And there will not be a return here. It's a touchback, and it'll come out to the 25-yard line. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. And following that long touchdown pass, a one-play drive last time, we'll see if the defense, you know they're ready. They don't want that to happen again.
And you would have thought they would have been ready the last time. That's what you work on all the time. Make sure that no one gets behind you. That's the cardinal sin of defense, not giving up the long pass. They did.
Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. A great effort there. On his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Dolphins have taken a 6-touchdown lead. I don't think you can get any more efficient or tidy, whatever word you want to use in that. Man, one play, 75 yards, end zone.
Yeah, efficient, tidy, excellent words. How about explosive? 75 yards, one play. That means everyone handled their assignment, doesn't it? It doesn't just mean that the defense broke down. They really executed the way that was drawn up on the whiteboard. Big-time play, big-time result.
Extra point splits the uprights, and the route is on here in this first half. From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return. And ultimately, he stopped right where he would have been if he had simply gone down to a knee at the 25. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. Their drive last time, it stalled out. They were forced to take the short field goal.
And the key phrase, you nailed it. Forced to, because you know coaches look at these short field goals as a last resort, right? To them, that's not how drives are supposed to end. You're supposed to put 6 on the board. That's a consolation prize. Like going to the county fair, you don't get the big stuffed animal on that one, do you?
No, you don't go top shelf. That's bottom shelf material. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. They'll run with Allen. And they get to him after a gain of 6 to the 46.
Now, Brandon, that's the way you want to run the football. There should almost be quote bubbles above the offense right now. Bam, boom, biff. That's how they feel good about moving the football.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 33. And he'll get this one out to the 50 to the midfield stripe.
And that's what we've seen from this defense all year long, because they've been so good at finding ways to take the football away. And they just gave us another example right here. A strong defense, that's something you're going to need to rely on come playoff time. And this crew has got one. There's no doubt about that, Brandon.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. He's going to rifle one deep left side.
And this ball incomplete. Looked very much to be a catchable ball and could not hang on. Second down coming up.
And I think they'd be well served to take that type of a physical approach against him the rest of the game. He's had his way so far, but on that last one, that worked quite well for the defense.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. He's going to go up top again. Touchdown! That's caught. A great play there. Touchdown number 18 on the year. And the Dolphins have got it on cruise control. Charles, there aren't really any slow receivers, but there's fast and then really fast. He's really fast, and he showed off the afterburners there.
And that he is, because when he took off, I was thinking there's no chance that he can actually reach him with that pass. Yet he did, and he's still sprinting. And just think about what that does. For everyone else on his team, because his ability to stretch a field opens things up for the rest of the receivers on the team.
Point after try forthcoming. And the route is on here in this first half. Pretty clean and simple there. Just 2 plays. The long pass resulting in the touchdown on play number 2. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
And he'll just take a seat, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line. Dallas offense set for this next drive.
And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious, because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it, because you're running away from people on it.
Now it's Barkley. And he'll get this up only to about the 33. And he got half of what he needed there, 2 yards. And it'll bring up a 3rd and 2 more.
But that's all about doing the dirty work right there defensively. 2nd and short yardage, that's all about plugging those gaps, not giving a running back a crease to run through. And has a nice job to hold him just a couple and force a 3rd down.
On the run, it's Barkley. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. A nice job defensively. And it likely forces a punt situation on 4th. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. Out now comes the Cowboys punter, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. Call that a 41-yard punt, 6 yards on the return, and it'll be Dolphin football. Out comes the Dolphin offense now as they get set to take over here. They have been red hot, sometimes white hot here in this first half. They're just looking to add to that total right now.
And this has to serve as a reminder to myself, because so many times I get wrapped up in the play calling, how they've sequenced things, how it's run. But, you know, at the end of the day, it's still execution. Those guys out on the field, and right now they are locked in and really looking good.
They'll try to continue to be locked in here as we get ready to approach half. Man, it's caught at the 6-yard line. Touchdown, Dolphins. A big play there. On his way to a historic performance, 4 first-half touchdowns. And the Dolphins just continue to pour it on. And let's count them up now. 1, 2, 3, 4 touchdown receptions for him in this game.
And just one shy of the NFL record. What a great performance. Going up and catching the football, creating space, and finding the end zone. That's what it's all about.
Point after, right down the middle. And that will extend this big lead. They certainly made quick work of that, ultra quick work. One of the fastest drives you'll ever see, just one play resulting in the touchdown. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And they'll get him down right around the 25, actually the 26 officially, so a net gain of 1 there. The Dallas offense back out onto the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. To throw again, McCarthy. And the Dolphins rush gets home. Down he goes. That winds up pushing him back 11 yards on the sack. And that'll bring up 3rd. Barkley. And they'll bring him down here up at about the 22-yard line. It'll be a gain of 7, but I'd imagine we'll see the punt team here on 4th down. Out now comes the Cowboys punter as he's on for the 5th time here today. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Fielded at about the 28. And nice work on the return as he gets about 15 yards back. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And maybe a chance for a quick completion and then a long field goal try. We'll see. On 1st and 10, Ward. He'll rifle this one deep right side. Touchdown! It's complete. A great effort there. In the final seconds of the 1st half. And the Dolphins will extend their lead here just before halftime.
And that's a lead that excites a team as they head into the half. Good way to finish things off.
Yeah, able to extend that lead, and you always say it, that can totally change the complexion of half number 2.
Yeah, it changes your morale, changes your outlook. But even before that, let's see if they decide to kind of squib kick or what they're going to do on the kickoff, because you don't want to give up a big play right before the half ends.
Good point. Extra point right down the middle, and the lead will swell by 1 more. So still time for the kickoff here. 1 second to go in the half as this one is away. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee, and they'll bring the football out to the 25. And with time running short here, they'll simply take a knee, and that should do it for half number 1. So we've reached halftime here, and it's the visiting Dolphins taking a lead to the locker room. As we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman in our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. The weather might be cold, but the playoff races are heating up here on this final Sunday before Christmas. So let's get to it. We'll begin up north at MetLife Stadium over in New Jersey. And it's the Jets who are out in front in that one. The Jets seem to be on their way to what would be a good victory. Next, we head off to check out another game. And that one's gone to the half with the visiting Broncos on top. The Broncos looking to sew that one up, and they look to be in pretty good shape. Lastly, let's check on one final game for you. And for the moment, they find themselves trailing the visiting Cincinnati Bengals. The Bengals seem to be on their way to what would be a good victory. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach. Thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Dolphins in front, and they'll be in possession of the football first as the second half gets started. Fielded just outside the goal line. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. Out comes the Dolphins now. They'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. And the first half definitely went their way, and this would seem to be a great opportunity to kind of put this game a little closer out of reach with a score here.
Yeah, and it's a wonderful opportunity for them because if they can add 7 more to their lead before the other guys even see the football, that could be the decisive blow in this game. I think that's how they're eyeing it. That's how they're approaching it. Brandon, I think you and I were both raised the same way in the game of football. You run to set up the pass, but I think we've discovered in this NFL, a lot of teams pass to set up the run. And that's what they've done throughout this game. They've aired it out, thrown it around the yard. Now they've come back to the running game, and they find a way to be successful with it.
Check 43. Check.
They run on first down as they get about 3. 2nd and 7 forthcoming.
And Charles, you think about this offense, and it's kind of a tricky time of the season because you're 14-0, looking to see this one out to the end, but you start to run into situations where guys are getting a little banged up. Maybe could use some time sharing, some time on the bench just to rest. How do you approach the rest of this regular season?
I'm telling you, you don't ask the easy stuff, do you? I mean, you created a heck of a situation there, and actually you didn't create it. You presented it, and you're exactly right. It is tricky because your eye has to be on the ultimate prize, which is the Super Bowl. That's paramount. But at the same time, how much fun would it be to go down as one of the all-time great teams and join the 1972 Dolphins as the only undefeated team to win a Super Bowl? Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging into our second half blowout material. Now a handoff here to his running back. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Ahead of the chains now, 2nd and 2.
Slam. Watch twist.
But we always talk about good down and distance, allowing offenses to expand their playbook. Well, 2nd and 2, that means your playbook's wide open. You can run just about anything. But a lot of times, the play caller, he just looks down at his sheet, sees the short yardage runs, and goes to one of those.
All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10.
Watch the safety creep. Watch twist.
Gonna give this time to the tailback. And he's eaten up at the line of scrimmage. Might have gotten a yard down to the 16.
That was a really nice play. I mean, stack that one up. When they get back in the huddle, he's got to tell his guys up front, great job. They kept people off of him, allowed him to run free and make the hit on the runner.
Filled the gap nicely, kept him to just a 1-yard gain.
Spot. No. Check.
A give to the fullback on the dive. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. Call it a gain of 5 that time, and they'll be left with a 3rd and about 4. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he's going to ball his way into the end
end zone for the Dolphins score. A great play there. Touchdown number 22 on the season. And the Dolphins take the opening kickoff of the third quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. Extra point splits the uprights, and that will extend this big lead. So that drive goes 8 plays, and it was finished off with a 10-yard touchdown scamper. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Now this is going to be returned from the back line of the end zone. Now here's the signal caller getting ready to lead this offense again. And he has not really been able to have a lot of comfort back there in the pocket. Pressure's been cut. The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. They've got to dig down deep. I mean, they need something right now, really anything to cling on to. This offense has struggled.
Partner, join me in a walk to their locker room at the half, okay? Because I think what we would have seen is an offensive coordinator and his assistant coaches getting together with all their positions, then coming together as a group, going over adjustments, and then the head coach coming in and just screaming, wake up. Yeah. Let's get moving, guys.
I'm kind of glad we weren't in there at halftime, actually.
I mean, you think he might have turned it on us, too?
Yeah, but right now, whatever was said hasn't been working. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on third down. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he will have a Cowboys first down, and comfortably so, as he gets 5 there on 3rd and a yard. Going old reliable there to the slot on third down.
And the slot position has become the bane of just about every defense's existence, because how do you cover? Do you go with the bigger guy to try and use size? Can go with the quicker guy and sometimes even get out quick there? Very difficult to match up with a slot receiver. That's why they keep going back to it.
And he's had the hot hand.
Well, maybe this offense has learned something from watching their counterparts work. I'm wondering if their coaching staff said, let's do what they've been doing the entire game, because that's worked well. This offense, they have not looked particularly good all game long, but a nice throw there for a good gain and a first down.
He's had trouble finding open receivers all game, CD, and that's because really there hasn't been many. This defense has been all over them.
Yeah, they're one of the better defenses in the league, and every time I talk to someone around the NFL, they all say the exact same thing. They're so fundamentally sound, it's hard to execute against them.
4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a third down. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
Again, he'll drop to throw. The Dolphins get there this time, and they bring him down. It'll be a loss of 8 on the sack, and it's going to lead him to 4th down. He is proving his worth defensively. Getting the sack here, that comes after being named the AFC Defensive Player of the Week for his performance in last week's game.
He's stacking games together, isn't he? I mean, you just mentioned what he did the previous week to be named AFC Defensive Player of the Week. Continuing to play at that level. And when you get that kind of confidence going, those kind of guys are hard to stop.
And good work bringing that one back as he picks up about 16 on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. From the gun, he'll hand this off. Not much room here as he only gets it to about the 30. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he's got a good gain of 7 up to the 37.
Okay, he didn't break that one all the way, but you got to know that he feels like he's right on the verge, and that's probably exactly what he's telling them in the huddle right now.
On 3rd down, it's Turner, and he'll be taken down, but he does have 1st down yardage.
I don't know about you, but that almost felt like old-time football there. 3rd and 2 is not necessarily just a running down anymore. A lot of times they want to throw the ball. They went back to the roots and powered forward and got the first down.
Get ready, get ready, get ready. Check, check. Rocco switch.
On the give, this is their fullback. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
I heard all the stories. I watched some of the tape of the old school guys, the throwback guys who were the punishing runners and knocked people aside to pick up yardage. I'm so glad I was sitting here today and got to see it with my own eyes.
2nd down and 4.
Here we go, Right here, guys.
And to give this time to the tailback. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football in that situation. That's almost a tendency breaker.
So from Cowboy territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
Coming up on a 2nd and 6.
Check three. Watch the twist.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. They'll run on 1st down. Turner, and he'll go down, and that will do it for the 3rd quarter of action. 1 quarter remains here in Week 16. This is the National Football League. EA Sports. 8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple.
Slam.
They'll keep it on the ground. It's Turner, and he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. Gonna give this time to the tailback. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. 49 yards rushing for him now to this point. A good position to be in here, 2nd and inches. And he'll give it here to his running back. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4.
Well, you know me, partner. I never tell them to back off of being aggressive, but sometimes you see the consequences when you're overly aggressive and you don't secure tackles. Guys break through.
Trying to sell out to pry that football loose, and just as you said, Cost some yardage.
Yeah, you got to go get him. Stand him up first before you go for the ball. Don't just go for it initially.
Give him 3 on the gain there. 2nd and goal. And again, they'll go right back to their fullback. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. It's the fullback. His 2nd touchdown of the afternoon.
And the Dolphins are moving closer to a 15-0 record as they extend their lead here.
Point after, right down the middle. And the lead will swell by 1 more. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
And this will not be returned. It'll come out to the 25.
Here's the Dallas offense now heading back out onto the field.
And they unfortunately are staring at a mini losing streak developing, trailing here in the 4th quarter. This would be their 3rd straight defeat.
On 1st down, McCarthy. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration, the body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
Back to the air on 2nd down. McCarthy. That's complete. He's got Barkley out of the backfield. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
And the Dolphins rush gets home. Down he goes. It's a loss of 10 on the sack, and it leads to 4th. Out now comes the Cowboys punter as he's on to kick it away. That's pulled in at the 32. 43-yard punt, but they get 9 back on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over.
Miami set to take over.
We find ourselves here in the midst of a one-sided affair. A lot of fill time down the stretch, Mr. Davis.
So we could talk about food because that is something that you and I
we
enjoy.
share that.
We enjoy our time at the table. So maybe the best steakhouses in the city, but in all seriousness, the performances that we've seen this year, we've seen a bunch of great ones. And it's going to be hard to parse who's going to win the MVP.
Yeah, it really is.
Is it going to be a runner? Is it going to be a thrower? Can a defender finally win it this season? Those are the things that we could probably discuss.
And collectively, this is about as dominant of a performance as you could have hoped for on both sides of the football.
Might have to put it #1 for what we've seen this season.
And he'll get it down here to the 43. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down.
2nd and 5.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he's going to be taken down with a marker on the field. So let's see about the call.
No.
So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Switch. Check 24. Check.
Going to give this time to the tailback. Room to run inside the 40. And down right around the 37.
46 yards rushing for him now on just 6 carries to this point.
That's how you get right up off of the mat, because on the last play, they stoned him in the backfield and dropped him for a loss. But he's the type of guy that scared me a little bit because he's not daunted. Just got right back up, showed some confidence, and picked up a 1st down with his very next run.
And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Same result as last play, 14 yards and another first down. This is where, fourth quarter, you got the lead, you give it to the big guy. Defensively kind of sucks the will out of them, doesn't it? Because they don't want to tackle him right now this late in the game.
But you say that with accusatory tones. I mean, but you're exactly right. I know it's not something we actually want to talk about, but as a defender, 4 quarters worth of trying to bring people down, 4 quarters worth of pounding, and now late in the game, here comes that big guy coming at you, and a lot of guys are wondering whether they want to come up and make that tackle at this stage of the game.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. It'll be a 3-yard pickup, and it brings up 2nd and goal.
The end result was brute force on brute force, but think about everything that's going on if you're playing defensive tackle. You're dealing with at least one blocker across from you, trying to deal with him, shed him, and maybe even a second one before you have to try and make the tackle on the big guy.
It'll be a gain of 5, and it's going to set up a 3rd and goal. And they'll turn to the power game to try to get in. And he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. Punching it in from a yard away. And the Dolphins have got it on cruise control. Extra point right down the middle. And that will extend this big lead. That time, a 9-play drive. And it ends with a 1-yard touchdown run. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And he'll be dropped at the 21-yard line, so bringing it out of the end zone proves not a good decision, loses him about 4 yards. Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. So after that hot start, the numbers here show the decline. What has the defense done adjustment-wise?
Sometimes when you have a running back who's gotten off to a hot start, you've got to catch him before he really gets going. So you change what you do across the defensive front. Instead of the linebackers being back a few yards, you bring them up closer. It's what we call mugging the line of scrimmage, taking away a lot of blocking angles and gaps, and maybe stopping him before he can get going.
Mugging the line of scrimmage, okay.
Yeah, in this case.
57, Mike 57.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. McCarthy, his throw incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Puts it on the carpet, it's out. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. But call it luck or skill, whatever the case is, they're feeling good about just keeping the football there.
Yeah, the biggest thing that they're calling it now, our ball. I mean, they don't care if it was luck or skill. Boy, the panic that jumps up in your chest when that ball's on the ground, whether you get it or your teammate gets it, just as long as you maintain possession, that's all you're looking for.
44-yard punt, return of 9. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 78 yards now on the ground on just 7 carries. Another example of this offense really having their way, Charles, and another big chunk play there on the ground.
And when you look at the defense, they've got to do a much better job of wrapping up when they tackle. A lot of great opportunities continue to slip through their fingers, as do the runners.
On 1st down, Turner, and he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Dolphins have it as we welcome you back in. They've got a second down now as they look to salt this one away. Now a handoff here to his running back. That's going to be a 6-yard gain. It leaves him with third down and just a yard to go.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
Stop your whining. Shift. Save.
Going to give this time to the tailback. And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42.
Well, partner, what do you think? Might have been 4-down territory if they didn't pick it up, but...
Yeah, it's a moot point now. I was curious, so if they didn't get it there, would they have gone for it? I guess we'll never know.
Yeah, we didn't have to make that call, but I have a feeling both of us would have said, go for it.
They'll run on first down. It's Turner. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on second down.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. What's that, 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive. And like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line.
2nd and 2 is prime.
Where the fuck are you going? What are you doing?
Time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down. Keep the sticks moving.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. And he'll give it here to his running back. Down he goes at the 10 with a solid pickup of 8. The Dolphins going to take their second timeout. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this fourth quarter of play. 2nd and 2, first down marker at the 8. Now a handoff here to his running back. And whistles, and they take their final timeout with 7 seconds left. Well, they probably don't need to run a play here, but you wonder if they're going to be able to resist on 1st and goal. They've gone to their fullback quite a bit. He'll get it again. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. Extra point splits the uprights, and the lead will swell by 1 more. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Short kick. One of the up middle take it now. And they've got it up past the 35, so pretty good starting field position. One final shot. They'll look to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And he's going to go down as time has now run out on this game. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the Dolphins,
They are now 2 wins away from a perfect regular season as they run their mark to 15-0 on the year.
and they'll get another road test next week as they head to Cleveland to take on the Browns. Meanwhile, for the Cowboys, their playoff hopes take a big hit as they fall to 8-7, and they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.